How do we connect opium, the Mongol Empire, Olivia Newton-John, Oprah Winfrey, and Jake Zyrus? First of all, let's talk a bit about the origins of opium. The earliest known reference to growing and using opium is in 3400 BC. Now, to give you an idea of when in history that was, it was around that year that the beginning forms of writing, the earliest ziggurats, and the wheel was about to be invented. Going back to opium, the Sumerians referred to it as hulhil, or the joy plant. They literally spread the joy by passing on the knowledge of this stuff to the Assyrians, and then they passed it on to the Egyptians. So now you know who to blame. Demand for this grew, and its cultivation spread along the Silk Road from the Mediterranean throughout Asia, and finally, jackpot in China. Moving a bit forward to the year 1797, poet Samuel Taylor Coleridge was dreaming on an opium high when he had an epiphany, a vision of the summer palace of Kublai Khan, the emperor of China and ruler of the Mongols. It was in the form of a 200-line poem. For those of you who don't know who Kublai Khan is, he's basically your prehistoric badass motherfucker. He was both the Khan, or Great Khan, and emperor of China in 1260. Rather than managing China through force, he understood that he needed to ingratiate himself with the Chinese people. So, he did this by restoring central and local government institutions, shifting his capital from Mongolia to China, and accommodating Chinese culture during his rule. All of this, of course, doesn't mean that he didn't have any military accomplishments whatsoever. In fact, he was responsible for the conquest of the Song dynasty of China, which was a great achievement because the Mongols' greatest strength, their cavalry, was not really suited to South China's forested landscape. Going back to the year 1797 and the high Samuel Coleridge, his dream was interrupted by an unexpected visitor, causing him to forget the lines from the poem that had formed in his mind. Talk about a bad trip. He left it unfinished until it was published in 1816, almost 20 years later. The poem was called Xanadu. It inspired a 1980 film about a nightclub with the same name, starring Olivia Newton-John and Gene Kelly. This was where Newton-John met her first husband, Matt Lattanzi, on the set of Xanadu. Lattanzi played the younger version of Gene Kelly. It was while Olivia was pregnant with their only child, Chloe, that she recorded The Best of Me with David Foster. And since then, Foster has gone on to produce hit songs and albums for artists as varied as Earth, Wind & Fire, The Corrs, Andrea Bocelli, Michael Bublé, Celine Dion, Brian McKnight, and Josh Groban. One day, Foster gets a surprise phone call from Oprah Winfrey. And the Queen of Media told him to listen to this young girl with an amazing voice from the Philippines. He did, and this was when Charis Pempenko, now known as Jake Zyrus, became an international superstar. Foster produced songs for her until 2011 when he signed with a rival recording company. And that's Flip Lang, where we connect the dots from every when and everywhere and bring it home to the Philippines. I'm Bill Velasco, and you're not.